Alright, guys, so I watched this Netflix documentary and it set a fire inside of me. Um, Take Care of Maya on Netflix. In 2015, a 9-year-old Maya Kowalski developed an illness that immobilized her and left her in excruciating pain. The new Netflix documentary Take Care of Maya begins with her family's desperate search for an answer. This was a documentary that I just watched. It hit really, really close to home. And without telling you everything about the documentary, because you should go watch it for yourself, it is about two parents that actually were trying to get their daughter some help. And while they were trying to get their daughter some help, the mother of this little girl right here that you see on the screen, she had her mother diagnosed with Munchausen's disease by proxy, which is a very serious diagnosis. Basically, what Munchausen's by proxy means is that you are sick to the point that you're projecting illnesses or sicknesses on other people, usually someone very close to you, and it's your own mental health problem, not theirs. And so I guess the reason that this hit me so hard was because I watched what this family was going through, and I also have been diagnosed with Munchausen's disease by proxy, and the courts have used this to remove my child away from me. And I guess after going through this for several years now, I've come across a lot of families who are dealing with the exact same thing. Parents being diagnosed with these bogus diagnoses. Munchausen's disease by proxy, actually, from what I've been told from the neuropsychologist that I've been working with, is not even a real diagnosis anymore, because it was removed from, like, being a recognizable diagnosis. It's changed. No one in the industry actually even uses that term anymore. So I have gone to multiple different people to get my mental health checked and cleared. And it has always been cleared. I have never had Munchausen's disease by proxy. But going through this, I've met so many more moms and dads that have been diagnosed with Munchausen's disease by proxy, making up fake illnesses for their children, and then the state using that, or the courts using that, to take these children away from their parents. So that is something that I've actually been going through for years now. And Maya's family was actually able to end up getting some help along the way. Maya was eventually able to go back home, but that unfortunately is not a reality for a lot of the kids that are going through these things. And so, all respect to Maya and her family, they have been through an absolute hell. But this is just actually way more common than you would even begin to imagine or think that it could be. So I guess whenever I watched this and knowing that this is exactly what I went through, and just getting the constant reminders that I'm not alone, that this is happening to, thousands upon thousands of families, and this is such a real thing that actually really needs to be addressed and taken care of. After watching it, I got really angry. I got really hurt. I got really heartbroken, and I just got really angry. And so I don't know what I'm doing. I know that I would love to start a nonprofit organization that would help families in this situation. I know that legislation to protect these children and these families is important, but I'm not an attorney. I am not a doctor. I am not anybody. I'm a mother, first and foremost, and I'm somebody who knows my child and knows that my child is not okay. And none of these courts want to hear us as parents. They only want to hear from the professionals, because this child has spent every single day of its life with you. But because somebody went to college and got a degree or got a license or did these things, they are actually more important than your voice. And they know what's best for your child better than you ever would, despite the fact that you birthed these children and you brought these children into this world, and you know this child better than anybody else. So I'm here, and I'm trying to find support. I'm trying to find families that will come together, because without coming together, this is going to continue happening to our children, and we're not going to have any way, to protect ourselves unless we come together as parents and we get together and make a difference. And I'm just hoping that I can figure out a way it is heavy on my heart to start a nonprofit organization that will help out these families, and then hopefully eventually it would actually go towards changing legislations, because yes, we need to start this battle exactly where it's at right now in the courts, helping these families and getting these families out of this turmoil, getting these children home, fixing the amount of damage that's been done to these children, whether it's getting them in therapies and counseling, getting them home with their parents, getting them the financial funds that they need so that they can get the help that they need from all of the destruction that's been caused by these court cases. And so that's, I guess, what's really been heavy on my heart. And I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I know that it is worth it. And I know that I'm ready to start. And I know there are a lot of parents out there like me that see this story or hear this story, and you know somebody that's been affected this way, or you have personally been affected this way, or you've brought beautiful children into this world, and you just want to know that you are the ultimate deciding factor in their care and taking care of them. And I'm not saying that no parent has ever actually been guilty of these things. I'm just saying that you deserve the right as a parent to parent your children and be there for your child and take care of your child. And for those of us that are actively fighting for it, we get stuck in the system. We get drained financially, and the state just makes its money off of us, because then the state gets to get dollars for every single child, and they get to keep collecting attorney's fees, they get to keep collecting court costs, they get to fill up their family courts that they like to keep full, and they get to keep child protective services in business and filling it up with children and keeping those kids in the foster system. And it's got to stop. These children that have healthy, loving homes need to go home, and it's got to stop. We've got to find a way as a community to come together and find resolutions. And at first it's going to sound like ridiculous, writing for legislation to change these laws so these children can be protected. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a politician. I'm not ever going to run for president in my life. I'm never going to be a judge. At best, I'll be on somebody's jury, and I'll try to make the best decisions that I can make for them. So no, I don't have an idea what I'm doing, but I know collectively, if we all came together and we got the right people behind us, the right people that care about these children, the right people that understand that these children are being molested and not being treated for their illnesses and their diagnosis, not being able to see their parents because their parents were trying to do the best they could, but some doctor somewhere didn't agree with the parent. Some counselor somewhere didn't agree with the parent. Some judge somewhere decided to listen to one of these professionals instead of listening to a mother or a father that knows their child and knows what their child needs. Because of those things, like, we just have to make sure that we find a way to get heard, and we find a way to change the system for all of these kids involved. Because if we don't, God only knows where this is going to go. How many more children are going to be hurt? But in the words of Maya, we can't give up, because if we do, they're just going to keep doing this. That's all I've got. Drop me a message. I'm going to try to get a Facebook page up and going. I'm going to try to bring a community together. If this is something that you're interested in, reach out to me. I would love to have help running this page. I would love to hear your ideas on nonprofits. I would love to hear your successes. I would love to hear your heartaches. I would love to support you. I would love to have a community where we can all come together and love and support each other. And I'm just really praying for these kids right now. And there is this fire that is burning inside of me that just wants to make a difference. I cannot spend another day in a courthouse, in a district attorney's office, in a sheriff's office, in a sergeant's office, in a lieutenant's office, and have them continue repeating to me, "We understand you're trying, but the system is broken." You are the system, and you know that the system is broken. So if you're working in the system and you are watching these stories and you are hearing these things, just know that when you're saying, "I know the system is broken," and this is where you are employed, you are a part of the system, which means that you have that burden to help change the system, to help hear these families. You have so much wealth of knowledge that we don't have, knowing what we could and couldn't do to make differences. And it is so important that collectively we come together with our voices and we just find a way to help this court system out and find a way to protect these children without ripping them from their lives. Hopefully we can get some of this stuff taken care of. We can get a community and we can start finding resolutions, because we are going to be so much stronger together than we ever will be apart. So if you're interested in this, like I said, please reach out to me. I am willing to hear you all. I would love to do something to help these families. I'm on your side. Thank you guys for listening. If you've listened for this long, give me a follow. Reach out to me and tell me your story. Let's get these stories heard. Let's get this community built. And let's figure out what we are doing to help these kids.